Classic Truck Rescue. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're jumping back on the 59 Chevy Apache 3100 Napco four-wheel drive restoration project. I've been anxious to get it stripped completely down to the bare frame like this so I could show you guys why we need a new frame. The owner of this truck, she's checking all the hardwares out. What's up, honey? You're doing great. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. Yeah, you get in there and inspect all that stuff. Where's it at? Where's it at? I know. I know. You're very clever, but I'm worried that you're gonna fall down and hurt yourself. Yeah. Little thing. Yeah. Anyway, Truck Inspector General on the job. The owner of this truck wants it completely restored to factory condition. There's no way this frame's ever going to be in factory condition again. Also, I wanted to take the opportunity to show you what was involved with getting a four-wheel drive truck in the mid-50s, specifically a Napco conversion kit. So without further ado, let's jump into that. It belongs to someone that is overseas, and that person wanted to make sure that they had all the parts necessary to be able to restore it when they got it delivered overseas. And I went through it from bumper to bumper and made a long list of all the parts that it needed, and I had all those parts, and I still do. But what I didn't realize, I wasn't really looking at the frame. You don't really, I guess that's an error on my part, but the frame was a mess. And I've been looking forward to having it stripped down to this condition for two reasons. One, I want to show you why we couldn't use a frame on this. The guy that owns this truck lives overseas, and he wants it restored to original condition. Well, there's no way that this frame's ever going to be in original condition, so we have to rectify that before we ship it over to him, and a few other things too. Now, before all of you guys that only watch the channel for the building, this is not a building video, so you can just go straight over to the comment section now and start whining about how I'm not building my building right now. As you can see, it's wet. It's been raining. It's been raining for a month, and the ground out in the pasture where the building is, if it gets any water on it at all, it turns into a mud pit. And your next comment will be, well, put some rock out there. Well, I just put rock on my driveways and they needed it. A man has to have his priorities. When it's been raining, you can't move trucks around, big trucks around out there, cranes and bucket trucks, and you can't even walk out there. There's one guy out there that can't wait to run over to the comment section and type in all caps, you know, if your shop was done, if you had a roof on your building, you could be doing this in there. Really? You're right. You're correct. Hey, when the sun comes out this spring, I will get the roof on there, and next year we'll be doing this in the building. But right now we're doing this because I got to do what I can do when I can do it, if that makes sense. But I don't melt in the rain, so I thought I'd go ahead and move forward on this project over here. That's my decision. Anyway, I'm going to use the handy cam, go around here, show you first what's wrong with this frame, and then I'll show you the Napco stuff, which is what's right with this frame. Then in the next video, I'm just going to strip it down to the bare frame rails. We'll get a new frame over here and we'll get started. Also, I created a full playlist on the channel of all the work that I've done on this truck, and it will show you nut and bolt how to completely tear it down to get to this point and to get the rest of the way too. It's called 1959 Chevy Napco Restoration. Go check it out if you want to see how to remove the cab or the front clip or the bed, or if you want to follow the progress on this. Halfway through 1957, the factory started making Napco four-wheel drive trucks as they came down the assembly line. Before that, The only way you got a Napco conversion kit is you ordered the kit and it got installed either at the dealership or shop. There were some shops that just specialized in doing that, but they would send you the Napco front axle, Napco front axle, the front axle also came with new U-bolts and these spring toppers right here. The normal topper on a two-wheel drive is just like a flat piece of metal with some angles on it. Previous to 1957, the transfer case shifter mount bracket was bolted to the frame. This is a 59, and we know that it was built at the factory because that's riveted on. This is the unobtainium Napco shift handle, incorrect shift ball on the top of it. But so you would get that, you would get your transfer case, your front axle, front drive shaft going between your transmission and the transfer case mounts, rear drive shaft, and you would get these special spring perches for the rear that would raise it up. And the reason they have these things coming at an angle is because they moved up the bump stop point because your axle was further away. It wasn't going to be bumping on this. So they included those with the spring perches and longer U-bolts for the rear. It also gave you a longer steering link right here because your steering was going to be farther away from the frame than it was with a two-wheel drive. With your Napco conversion kit, they also sent you a, when they started out, it was a piece of tin that you screwed to the top of your dash or up above where the rear view mirror goes, showing the shift pattern. And they also sent you a Napco Powerpack set of fender badges that went on your fenders, announcing that you had a Napco Powerpack 4x4 system. Also forgot to mention, with your Napco Powerpack four-wheel drive kit, you also got an extra long speedometer cable because they ran it, instead of going from the speedometer down the firewall and to the transmission, there's a plug in there. Instead of going to the transmission, the speedometer cable went all the way back to where the rear output gear on the transfer case drove the speedometer gear. That way you would get a true reading of your miles per hour, whether you were in high range or low range. I think that covers it. In my next video on this, you'll just listen to some beautiful music while the wrenches fly, and we will strip this down to the bare frame. And then I'm going to have a conversation with the owner regarding what direction we're going to take, and we will either put the brand new frame here and just put this stuff back on it and get all of its parts on it and get it ready for shipping, or we'll begin the restoration process. Let me show you this frame. Okay, so here's the problem with the frame on this one. Well, it's only a 1/4 inch thick over here, but there's some of this loveliness on the other side too. Look at all the welding they did on this. They put bolts in there after they got the rivets out. Look at the creativity here, folks. This is the front left cab mount, so this would be right where the driver's feet are, and I don't know what that is, but so they whacked it off because they had to bring it out. They had to bring it this way because they added a 1/4 inch here. So in order, there used to be just a hole here. They just elongated this hole, and it's not even worth talking about, is it really? Look at how they notched out for the nuts. That's for the e-brake pulley. Yeah, see right there. And more creativity. Oh boy. All right. Okay. We will overcome all of that. Anyway, so, and also they whacked off the tops of the shock mounts. Over here on the other side, they really got heavy duty. That's like 1/2 inch thick right there. And then we got another one of these little down thingies going on there. And again, they whacked off the cab mount and moved it out. Now, the reason they did all this is the frame cracked right here and here. And I don't know why. I've never seen that on one of these frames, but yeah. Also, there was a leak on the top of the tranny that they went ahead and put a ton of splooge on there to take care of. Looks like everything was leaking. That's the back of the transmission. The transfer case is just covered, so I think I can see why it was leaking right down there. Thanks for watching. Looking forward to see you back for the next video. Please remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share. Jamie does it better than me. Peace out.